IFRP hosts a discussion forum for Idaho collaborators, and this tutorial is an introduction to some of the basic functions of the forum. From the home page, if you move over to the menu item that says Forums and click on Collaborator Forum, it will bring up this page. The format's pretty simple. The discussion threads are under the heading Thread Title, and on the left side is the date and time that the thread was started and who started it. Way over on the right side is the date and time of the last post for that discussion thread. And then there's a tally of how many times the thread has been viewed and how many comments there are. In order to read, there's no need to log in. Anybody can read any of the discussion threads. You simply click on the thread title, and that will bring up on the page the original discussion topic. In this case, it's the Farm Bill amendments from 2014. And then down below, there are comments, and each one of the comments appears with the name of the person that made the comment and then the date and time. And then to go back to the entire listing, you just click on the link that says Back to Postings List. So reading is pretty simple. There is a second option. How can you track new information? One way is just to come back and look at the forum periodically. The other is over in the lower right-hand corner of the page. There is a news feed, RSS, or really simple syndication feed. And if you use a news reader app in your browser, you can add this news feed and track any changes to the forum. Just to give you an example, I use an app called Feedly Reader in Chrome, and over here on the left it lists the different news feeds that I'm tracking, and one of them is the IFRP Collaborators forum. So any post appears here. If there's a new discussion thread or a new comment, the text font will appear bold, and by clicking on it, I get a description, and then can also click on the heading to get to the details behind it. So two methods to read. One is simply clicking on the thread title. The other is tracking the forum changes as they occur by using the RSS news feed. Collaborators can also post new information. That's the writing part of the forum, and there are two types of content. One is a comment or response to an existing thread title, and the other is posting a new thread. So let's just look at one example of commenting. I'm going to click on Sustainability in Idaho Forests, and that's a video that was posted in the spring of 2013. And let's just say that after watching that, I wanted to post a comment on it. I would click on Reply. In order to reply, you do need to log in. The simplest method to log in is as a guest. There's no password required. You type your name, and optionally you can enter a website address or an email. It defaults to a title, but you can change that to whatever you want. And then in the message box, it's sort of like typing into an email application or into a word processor. And then you click Add. Before I do that, note that there are some formatting options here. On style, there are different default text fonts that you can use to create headings or change the size of the text font. There are other options to highlight text and make it bold, format it in italics or underline, and you can create lists, either numbered or bulleted lists. Over on the right, there are options to insert different types of media, video. You can include photos, and also HTML snippets. For example, that video, which is part of the discussion thread, was actually created as an HTML snippet from another application. And there is a spell checker to check the spelling of any of the text that you've entered. So clicking add, there's now one comment, and if I look down here, the comment appears, the name, my name, and the date and time that I posted it. To create a new thread, the steps are very similar. You click on the new thread, again, log in as a guest, enter your name, the topic for the thread, and then type in the message box and click add, and your thread will appear at the top of the discussion list. There is a third method to upload information to the forum. If you have a fairly lengthy topic and you feel more comfortable typing in a word processor, you can use the file upload function in the upper right hand corner of the web page and complete a form with your email address, choose a file that you want to upload, and then describe the file contents in this part of the form and click submit. That file will go directly to me. If in your message you just say that you would like to have this information posted on the forum, I will post the information for you in a discussion thread. So those are the basics. Again, remember that this is a forum for all collaborators. It's open to use. You can read information without logging in order to comment on a thread or start a new discussion thread. You do need to log in. The simplest method is as a guest. There's no password to remember.